welcome to all of you. Now, we're actually all here, which is a good thing. We're delighted, I say that quite honestly, we're delighted that you could be present for this conference today, Daily Lights at 50. My name is Mark Massa, and I have the very welcome task of being the new director of the Blasey Center for Religion and American Public Life here at Boston College. We have an embarrassment of riches for all of us today, our speakers and panelists. And so I'm on very safe ground in predicting that we're in for an intellectually stimulating and exciting day. I always tell the folks at the Blasey Center that I only want people who are far too busy to be involved in our events, to be involved in our events. So that's what we have for you today. Many hands were involved in putting today's conference together, and I would be remiss in not mentioning at least some of them. Dr. David Quigley, who is Boston College's energetic and supportive provost and dean of faculties, supported us in sort of like all kinds of ways, like my father, Gregory Kulsher of the Society of Jesus, who is the dedicated and hardworking dean of the Morrissey College of Arts and Sciences. Likewise, Dr. Mary Crane, who is the director of Boston College's Institute of Liberal Arts. All these three people all provided crucial moral and financial support for today's events, and I here publicly acknowledge their foundational role in making today happen. My friends and colleagues at the Blasey Center put in more hours toward making today work than we can actually keep track of. Dr. Eric Owens, our creative and dedicated associate director of the center, whom I'm learning much from about how to run the Blasey Center. Ms. Susan Richards, Susie, to all of us, and hopefully to you, who is the administrator of the Blasey Center, and I always refer to her as the source of all wisdom and knowledge, which she is. Mr. Jack Newley, who is our long-suffering graduate assistant at Blasey this year, and Mr. Tom Kratz, who is a doctoral student in the theology department here at BC, who is a special assistant for this event. All of these people played crucial roles in putting today's conference together. Before I get into the heart of what's going to happen today, just 4 public service announcements. I remind you to please take off your cell phones and pagers. Secondly, there's a unisex bathroom on this floor, right outside in the hallway, slightly to the right. Both the ladies and the men's rooms are down one level in the basement of this building, so you can, it's to my right, there are steps on either side that you can go down to. There will be a video recording of this conference, which will be available online in the coming days. And you might want to check the Blasey website in your bulletin for this and other features. And finally, we will have a break for approximately 15 minutes following our keynote speaker today. While I was contemplating scheduling today's event last spring, I visited my health food store in Newton Center, about a mile from here, down Beacon Street. And there was a young man sitting at the checkout counter at the health food store wearing a Boston College superfan yellow shirt. And when I came in, I said, "Do you know where I can get these kind of vitamins?" They pointed me to the aisle. So I went and got the things, and I was checking out, and I said, "Do you ever take these?" And he said, "No, I'm young and stupid." And I said, "Self-knowledge is a very important thing." Our entire day today is a long course in self-knowledge, or at least an advanced colloquium in self-knowledge. Self-knowledge about Catholic higher education, and those of us who have dedicated our lives to it. And here, I do want to appeal to a visual aid which all of you should have coming in. Susan, could you put up your hand if you need this sheet? I think everybody has one, okay. On this visual aid, I would just like to point out some facts about what we're going to be talking about today. This visual aid was made available to me by Dr. Michael James from the Lynch School of Education here at Boston College, and I'm grateful for him for that. On the first page of the sheet, which says U.S. Roman Catholic College is the big blue box, I would like to point out that of the 4,724 degree-granting colleges and universities in the United States, 3,000 of them, actually 3,100 of them, are private schools. And of those 3,100 institutions, fully Roughly 1,024 of them have some religious affiliation. And of those 1,024 religiously affiliated institutions, 287 declare some Roman Catholic affiliation. And those 287 Catholic schools educate 528,000 students every year. Okay? So think about that. 528,000 students. Thus, the self-knowledge I spoke about a minute ago is crucially important for us, as it involves a large family of Catholic institutions. And you will see, if you turn this sheet over to the second page, the largest single cluster of Catholic institutions, 186 of them, are sponsored by religious orders, which together educate 478,000 students. That's an amazing statistic. So let me say it again. Together, institutions sponsored by religious orders in the Catholic Church annually educate 478,000 students. It should thus come as no surprise that we've asked a number of sitting presidents and deans, as well as faculty from some of the most prominent institutions sponsored by religious orders, to be central players in today's events. They are way too busy to be part of today's conference, so I'm very grateful for their willingness to be here with us. And we have the perfect person to kick off our long exploration of where we are, most particularly where we are half a century after one of the founding documents of contemporary Catholic education. Dr. John McGreevy is Professor of History and Dean of the College of Arts and Letters at the University of Notre Dame in South Bend. A reviewer of his first book, called Parish Boundaries, The Catholic Encounter with Race, noted that its careful and nuanced untangling of the issues of religion, class, and race was a game changer in understanding the complex history of the American Catholic Church's engagement with our country's deeply problematic racial past. His next book, Catholicism and American Freedom, which I always use, John. So that wing of the house that you're building, that I want my little name tag. Catholicism and American Freedom was awarded one of the highest accolades that academics dream about. It was given a front-page review of the New York Times Sunday Book Review section. On the day that review was published, I said to the Jesuit sitting next to me in the Jesuit raccoon, every American historian in the land is envious of John McGreevy this morning. In reviewing his most recent book, American Jesuits and the World, How an Embattled Religious Order Made Modern Catholicism Global, I wrote, McGreevy has that great gift of taking a long second look at something that we thought we knew, and in the process, allowing unexpected insights to emerge. This, I said at the end of the review, is a genuinely brilliant book. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me and Boston College great honor to introduce to you Dr. John McGreevy.